never talked to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches. Coach, 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 coach,
Now it's time to go to work.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay, we sound all right. What is going on? Florida State family, Seminole Nation, and the 863 tribe. It is your boy POLK, a.k.a. A-Lo, a.k.a. the goddamn truth. Week 3 is upon us. Or is this, well, no, this is technically week 2. No, this is week 3 because we had a bye week. Yeah, week 3. Week 0, week 1, bye week. Here we are, week 3. Week 3 is upon us. We got a game Friday night, and it's against the Louisville Cardinals. So we're going to look at this game tonight, and we're just going to talk about it. I'm interested in this game. This game was always marked on the calendar for me. Louisville's always been a tough opponent. I know there's people that don't think Louisville's very good. I don't myself necessarily think Louisville has been very good. But check out Florida State versus Louisville since they've joined the ACC. We've struggled in this series, people. This has not been an easy game for us. I don't know if Friday will be the same, but we're going to dig into that. But as always, before we dig into it, hit the like button, join the comment section, share the video, let them know that the realest Seminole YouTube channel on the World Wide Web is live and talking Florida State football. That's what we do over here on 863 Seminole TV. So hit the like button, which is akin to ringing my doorbell, saying hello before you come in my house. You always speak when you come into someone's house, and that's how you speak when you come into this house. Hit the like button. And as always, subscribe to the channel. Now let's get to this roll call. And then we're going to dig into the comments, dig into the conversation, do a typical hangover like we usually do. Because this is also the most interactive Seminole YouTube channel on the World Wide Web. Show me another platform where the voices of the people are heard as much as it is here. Even the ridiculous takes, I let you guys share them. And we have no problem going back and forth now, do we? That's what this channel is all about. But anyway, 40 people, man, hit the like button. Chris Robinson, always in the building, saying Orlando on the check-in. Todd Pope, Peter Shields, member of the 863 Tribe. Priscilla Chestnut, Wayne Stambaum, Nicholas Johns, Island Boy, Matt Will, Tyler Head, member of the 863 Tribe. Matthew Rawson, Florida State Love, Zozuki Black Shear. Roar, I always mess that one. But I'm going to call you Mr. Orr, because that's what that looks like to me. Nathaniel Gates, No Squad Boxing Monster, member the 863 Tribe. R. Davius, Brandon Brazier, Hypnotic, Champs 99, Panama Jack, and FSU Rose, member of the 863 Tribe. Is it me? Or is this video skipping? Looks like it's skipping a little. I don't know if that's the camera. All right, Kusami Hayes, Belief Beats TV in the building. Louisville, man. I'm going to tell you, man. Again, for me, man, this has always been the game that I circle just because I think Louisville's always been a tough out. Always. I mean, even coming off a national championship 2014. You guys remember that game? Jameis almost threw us out of the game to throw us right back into it, right? And win the game. It's just always been a game that I always said, especially when it's on the road at night and on one of these off days, right? It's a Friday night road game. I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Louisville area. That Louisville area with like Elizabethtown and Ratcliffe. I don't know if anybody's ever been out there. There's nothing to do out there. Absolutely nothing out there. I expect everybody to be at that Friday game in Louisville. I expect it to be a pack house. I expect it to be an electric atmosphere out there. They will be fired up to play this game. Hey, sir. They will be ready to play this game. And on cue, here he is. Can I help you? Go watch TV. See you later. Say hello to the co-host. Hey, what do you want? They will be ready to play. And it's going to be, I feel like watching, I watched the, hold on, guys. No. Okay, let me get back to this conversation. So somebody won't leave me alone. Anyway, they will be ready to play, man. I watched this UCF game. I watched the Syracuse game. And there's a part of me, I'm watching this team and I'm saying to myself, yeah, this Louisville team has a lot of flaws, especially I think on both sides. The defensive line and offensive line, I feel like we're supposed to be good for these teams. And yet they haven't played up to par, especially that O-line. That defense is porous. UCF probably should have won that game. We know Syracuse dominated them, but though they opened the year with 2 road games. I think something happens when you play at home. I think this is going to be a close game. I see you loading. I'm telling you, I think this is going to be a close game. I would not be shocked if this is a high-scoring game. I think they're due for an offensive explosion. They got too many weapons on offense to continue to be so subpar. They scored 7 points in the first game, and what was the final score of the UCF game? 17-14 or something? What was the final score of the UCF game? They only scored like 14 points or something. 17 or 14 points against UCF. Let me look it up. I forget. It was a low-scoring game, though, is my point. UCF versus Louisville. What was the score? Somebody tell me in the chat. What was the score, man? What was the score for that game? For some reason, I can't find it. 20-14. Okay, so they scored 20 points. Still not a lot of points, man. That's still not a lot of points. 20-14. And if we're being honest, Tyler hits a nail on the head. Satterfield has had his way with. Satterfield has taken Adam Fuller behind the woodshed here and whooped his rear end. Whooped this man's ass. Like it hasn't even been competitive. The first half of that game last year was an utter whooping. And then they came back in that game and made it a little bit more respectable. The defense there's some rumors or conspiracies that there's a couple of them, right? Louisville took their foot off the gas in that second half, which is why Florida State was able to make it competitive. Randy Shannon got involved, which is why the defense started stepping up. There's a lot of, I don't know, man. Fuller hasn't looked great against this team, and I have a feeling. Okay, I just have a feeling that they're due for an offensive explosion. I hope I'm wrong. I just got a feeling that you could be seeing like a 34-37 game or something like that. It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. I'm not really worried about what they do defensively. I'd be more interested to see what Florida State is able to do. With Cunningham's another. I mean, Cunningham's has had another player, right? That's had our number. So this all kind of comes together, and I see a lot of people are very confident in Florida State. I mean, Champ 99 says 31-21. That's 11-point victory. I saw some other scores, 31-17. See, a lot of people think, like, I've seen some stuff on Twitter, right? People are very confident in this game. There's nothing wrong with you. I ain't mad at you for being confident. Like, if you're confident, right, and you feel like the boys are going to show up and do the thing, I hope you're right. For me, I'll be honest with you. If they were to come out and get a double-digit victory, a 10-17 point lead, victory, if they get a 31-17 win, hell, 31-20, they get that. I think that's making somewhat of a statement for me. Now, where Florida State has a little bit of an advantage here in terms of all this stuff that I've talked about. So this man saying it's 38-17. Like, if they, I don't want to, like, I'm not mad, y'all. Like, I'm not mad at y'all's predictions. I really hope I see these. But I just want to ask, what have y'all seen from Florida State to say they're going to beat a team by that? They are still in, they just squeaked out a 1-point lead. Now that lead, that was a game that you kind of thoroughly dominated, and you should have probably won by 14 or 17, right? Do we think all of a sudden we take that drastic leap from beating LSU by 1 point to 38-17 against Louisville, or are we still in the close game? We're gonna win, but winning some close game. Are we ready to take that leap in the third game of the season? That's really my question when it all boils down to it. I still think this team is in a process. I still say this man said Travis is on PEDs now. Oh my God, that's the only explanation, right? I still think this team is still in that win by a little phase. I don't know if they're ready to beat a team like, and again, I don't think Louisville's world beaters, but they have talent, and they play a style of football that we struggle with. They have a mobile quarterback that we have struggled with. Whether you go back to Schrader last year at Syracuse, the man ran all over us. Just Jaden Daniels this year, the man ran all over us. We struggle with these running quarterbacks. I'm just asking questions. Like, again, I'm not mad at the score predictions. Me personally, I think it's a little bit. I think it's a like a 28-24 game. I think wouldn't surprise me. Like, I agree. Like, a close game like that would not shock me. Matter of fact, that's what I think. Now, I would love to see. I don't know if I would love to see 35-24, only because them boys ain't, them boys scored 7 and 20 the first two games. I kind of don't want to be the team that they have their season high on, but I again, wouldn't shock me. Like, I do think they're maybe up for an offensive explosion. We tend to struggle with these mobile quarterbacks, whether that's scheme or maybe we don't have the personnel to match, which I think we do have the personnel to match. Different discussion. Louisville's always worried me. So to me, beating these guys is a must. But I've always thought, remember, guys, I picked 9-3. My thought process when I picked 9-3 was I always had you beating LSU. But I thought you either gonna split Louisville and Wake. So you're gonna beat one, you're gonna lose, in my opinion, to one of those two teams, Louisville or Wake. You're going to lose to NC State or Clemson, and you're going to lose to Miami or Florida. I think you don't beat all of those teams, you split those games, right? So for me, if you dominate them, then I feel very confident about, and I still feel very confident about this team. But to eliminate the errors that made that LSU game close would say a lot after 2 weeks of practice, right? You had the bye week and now this week. I think the bye week helps. I think the fact that you played in New Orleans helps, but that wasn't exactly a hostile crowd in New Orleans. Some would argue Florida State took over New Orleans. That by the end of that thing, that was a pro Florida State crowd, like some would say, right? So you're going to be in a little bit different of an atmosphere. And you're going to be facing a guy who's had your number. Am I crazy for thinking this is going to be a close game? I see a lot of y'all with these predictions, man. It all comes down to Jordan. His work in the spring certainly showed in his last performance, and if he continues to exclude, but see, I don't think it all comes down. I think you're right in the sense of as long as Jordan's on his game, we win the game. But if we want to have that performance, that dominant performance, that defense has to show up in a way that it has not shown up under Adam Fuller versus Satterfield. So Adam Fuller's got some demons to exercise in this game. That's the matchup to watch. That is the matchup to watch. I believe B says 35-14. See, that means you're dominating the game. Again, would love to see it. Haven't seen anything to show that we can go out there and do that quite yet. Maybe this is the game to show it. Yeah, I hear you. You said we stopped him in the second half? Well, we went prevent defense, and then he went from running the ball on us to throwing the ball on us. So we didn't stop him in the second half. I'm not sure what second half you watched there. They were down, 24-10 and came back. So we didn't stop him in the second half. But anyway. Lamar Jackson, we all remember that game. My point is we struggled with these running quarterbacks, bro. And I'm just simply talking about under the Norvell era. We struggled with these quarterbacks, these running quarterbacks. I think you definitely have to establish the run. But if you look at what UCF did successful and what Schrader does successful, they're going to have to use Jordan Travis's legs. You definitely establish the run. Got to let Jordan Travis run the ball too, though. Got to let Jordan Travis run the ball. The difference between Travis and Plumlee, Travis can actually throw and Plumlee can't. Had Plumlee been able to throw the football, they probably blow Louisville out as well. They have a bad defense. I'm with you. Not every game, but the games we've played so far. And they do have solid receivers. I agree. Why does the explosion have to be against us? Again, history says so. I'm not just pulling nothing out my ass. Just look at Satterfield versus these last two defenses. I'm not, history is the best evidence of what you're going to see in the future. History repeats itself. That's all I'm saying. History says this Louisville game is going to be a tight game. There's going to be some points scored. I say send some heat, make Malik Cunningham beat us with his arm. Polk, why are you worried when they don't have a running game but Cunningham? Well, it's not that I'm worried. I'm just telling you that I think this was always a tough game. It's been a tough game. I don't know why we should expect any different is my point. Worried? Not worried. I think we can and should win the game. But the notion, that this is going to be a cakewalk. I've always said this. Everybody gets up to play certain teams. The entire ACC, forget how they looked the week or two before. These teams get up to play these games. These games against this school and that helmet, and they're going to be a white one Friday, which I'm very interested to see how those uniforms look on field. But that helmet and that logo, they tend to bring out the best sometimes in some of these schools. 31, a 7-point game. I'm not mad at that score. That kind of sounds like, yeah, I mean, a 31-24 game is a competitive game, and that's something I would probably expect. This is going to be a big game. People don't trust us and are overvaluing Malik. To stop the run, they're going to have to run blitz and whatever by Travis' legs or his arms. That decision kills them. 35-17 Noles. I honestly have no expectations for this game. I'm a wait and see mode. Malik ain't Lamar. Well, no one said he was Lamar. Definitely he's not no Lamar Jackson, but he's killed Florida State the last 2 years. We went prevent dude, but failed to defend the sides. I was hella confused. That's the first rule of prevent defense. Of course, I know. I'm pretty sure they want the dub. I know Jordan Travis wants the dub. Their O-line, I believe their O-line. I agree with you, right? I don't believe their O-line is very good. But we have seen, and even in Duquesne game, that our defensive ends don't play sound football all the time. Jarrett versus McClendon, they're pretty good. They're pretty athletic. Versus explosive. I expect Versus to be, but they also over pursuit on it. They don't contain. Well, if you don't contain against Malik, as you saw with Jaden Daniels, well, there's going to be an issue there. Like, I want to see all those things get cleaned up. Brownlee has been talking. I hope they make him pay. If we can't get good lead going into halftime in games and keep the momentum coming out in the half, we'll be good for the season. We struggle to keep momentum coming out of halftime in games. Nathaniel says you're gonna need a new helmet. No, I'm not. So I'm not doing no more of those 4 tomahawks a nights. Nah. If we win this game Friday, we're gonna have 1 tomahawk. 1. And I'm not gonna give out a tomahawk just for winning. We'll give on that for maybe an exceptional performance, something like that. With a max of 2. I'm not we're not gonna be doing 4 a game. Like you said, I'm gonna run out of them by the time we do that. Over or under is like 55. Polk, I believe Louisville will stack the box. Might not really need to get the passing game. Well, if they stack the box, so I think Louisville would be dumber than a box of rocks to trust number 12. I have 3 years of tape on 12 and one-on-one downfield. Yeah, you do that if you want to. I just line Johnny up over him. I don't even think he could hold Ontario Wilson. Give me one-on-one on 12. I will take my chances all day. He'd be dumb to do that. I think they would be flat out stupid to do that. But I understand why you think that, because they don't want us to run the ball, and we should be able to run the ball, right? Our coach is soft as cotton. He's a Bible study preacher. We lack toughness. If y'all pound the run, our D-tags linebackers can't stop the run. FSU is a lot of ACC schools. Super Bowl, that's right. This season has a lot of surprises this year. Last week was a great week for college football. The first play needs to be over the top. Don't we have another Friday night game? We do have another Friday night game against the Gators this year. Yeah, we absolutely do. Texas almost beat Bama. I was in Austin at the bar watching that, and they let me down. I was in Austin we were on 6th Street, and watching that game, cheering like I was a Texas fan, and they let me down. But I'll say this about that game, Todd. Quentin Edwards is the truth. He is the absolute truth. I remember talking about him coming out of high school, and I wasn't quite sold. Quentin Edwards, I'm going to say it here. Look at me. Read my lips. Is the best quarterback in college football. He might not be the most accomplished. He's better than Bryce. He's better than Stroud. You name it. When it's all said and done, if he doesn't go out in that game, they beat Bama by at least 14 points. I'm telling you right now. Quentin Edwards has the best arm talent in college football. It's not even close. Those throws he was making, if you were not watching, we're getting a little sidetracked here, but I had to put that out there. You can say it's a crazy take. You can say whatever. I know what I saw, and I know what I'm watching. Kid's got the best arm in college ball, bar none. I think we should pass only if we have to. Salute to January Man. Have they announced his Fabian playing or not? I know they've been using him on the scout team. So they put that out that they were using Travis J on scout team. LSU's defense is twice as good. I agree with you. LSU's defense is so. I was actually going to get into that boxing monster. Like I think Louisville's O-line and LSU's O-line might be similar. You might even argue Louisville may have a better one, or at least a more experienced one. Like I don't think Louisville's toting out any freshmen out there. But what I know is that LSU's defense is, like you say, twice as good as Louisville's. I agree with that. I like that last part. You say FSU will be playing with their food live on ESPN under Friday Night Lights. So will they be playing with their food, or will they eat that stuff and get up out of there? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my question. Like, I want to believe everything kind of points to we should have, like these scores y'all are saying, I think everything based on the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks of the season, like everything points to, yeah, you should have this type of game. You probably should go in there, maybe have a Syracuse type game against them. But it's Louisville. It's a Friday night. It's at Louisville. Is it still called Papa John Stadium, or is it called something else? I don't know. But it's at that place. That place has always been a problem. That team in that stadium has always been a problem. So I just had my reservations. Brownlee act like a hurt ex. Cause man, we just can't be giving out random tomahawks. You gotta earn these, man. You gotta earn these tomahawks. Brownlee does start. He definitely starts. Hold on, guys. All Brownlee's highlights are lowlights. That Jarvis Brownlee story and smack talk makes this game fun. Ray Fitty, Norville said they used him on the scout team. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. I don't know if he practiced this week or not. Norville's kept the Fabian situation close to the vest, so we'll see. Quentin Edwards never would have got hurt. Bama would have lost. Absolutely. Quentin Edwards doesn't get hurt. Again, I'm not even sure the game's close. Like, that man is the real deal. Arch Manning might want to go find another school because Arch Manning ain't going to see the field. I'm just going to let you know that right now. Arch Manning might want to go find another school. He's better. He is the best passer of the football in college football. I'm not stuttering. You can name anybody you want to name. Edwards got the best. Edwards has the best arm in the sport. He's the future number 1 pick. I'm telling you right now. Uh, you have lost your mind per CBS. Um, and no, man, it's gonna be tough. Like, they're gonna have to run them down. They're gonna have to run them down. If you can contain, if you play contain and get Cunningham, like if he has to hesitate when he scrambles, I think Verse can get him down. Verse can get him. If Lovett, Coop should be able to get pressure up the middle. I think Jared Jackson's gonna look to have a big game, and I think he's gonna want this game too. So they're gonna be chomping at the bit to get at him. You just gotta catch him and bring him down, right? Fabian said on the podcast show that he's ready and he can go. I mean, of course, he's going to say that, but we're going to see what the team's going to keep it close to the vest. I'm gonna be honest. I want to get out of Louisville the best and safest way. That's not a team. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Seminole 954. That's not a team to be playing with. Like, don't go into that fourth quarter like 20-20. Like, don't. If we're that much better than this team, like everybody thinks, finish this team. Do not play around with Louisville in that stadium, in that environment. I'm telling you, it's not going to end well. The problem they ran into is that Plumlee's their quarterback, and he can't throw worth a lick. Might be worse than AR-15. Absolutely. Number 7 can't see the field. What up, RD? If Brownlee starts, that says a lot about their defense. Hey, Polk, it's been a while. What's up, Wanda Smith? Is Tatum Bethune playing? He should be. I haven't heard anything about Bethune. Matter of fact, I think Bethune interviewed this week. Tatum Bethune's a good. Not only is he a go, he probably want to put him on Malik. You feel me? Like, yeah, Bethune is the best backer you got. Absolutely. The only way Louisville wins is if it rains. I've been hating Louisville since that damn game in the rain. It rains a lot there in Kentucky, too. If Brownlee got turned around against that Alabama transfer on UCF, he would definitely be on the number 1 guy. Run it down Louisville's throat the first half, so they will be worn down in the second half. Does Brownlee start because he's a good corner? I don't know. Great question. Don't know. I've always said the one thing about Jarvis Brownlee, look, we kind of talk about it. The one thing about him is he plays hard, man. He plays hard. He gives you 100% effort. He's going to hit. He's not scared to stick his nose in there. So, a coaching staff will value something like that. Who would you want to spy Cunningham? I just named Bethune. I'm not against Deloach. I think my edge is with Bethune over Deloach because I think Bethune, he's been. I'm not saying he's been playing the position longer. I think they're both redshirt juniors, but Bethune, he's just a little bit more natural in my opinion. Like he makes quicker decisions than Deloach does. Y'all think Wright plays? He keeps practicing more and more, man. They keep throwing them highlights out there. There's a chance. I don't know. Man, I think they're keeping it close to the vest for a reason. You might see a Winston Wright out there. John, what's going on? I agree. Got to come out there. You got to play a clean game. No hold. No, don't do anything silly that's going to bring back big plays. Made for the Ville says, don't pick on Brownlee. We picking on him, man. Shout out to Made for the Ville. He's doing a late night stream tonight. I'm gonna go on there and hop on there for a little bit. We're gonna talk some more Louisville, Florida State. So if you're up late, I think it's gonna be around 11. I think he goes live. If for whatever reason you're up late, want to check us out, go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe, Made for the Bill, as we talk some Louisville, Florida State stuff. But we definitely need to pick on Brownlee. Definitely. We need to throw one of these on Brownlee.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
Appreciate the $10, my man. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know if Cunningham. I don't know. They only scored 7 points in the first game and 20 in the second game. So I don't know how many. Cooney says, if I'm Norvell, I'm going at Brownlee early and often. He plays hard, but if you make a couple plays on him, I agree. Brownlee, one of his issues is he plays too emotional. Where if he starts giving up a big play, you'll see him start hanging his head. His body language will start changing. That's been consistently Jarvis Brownlee. And even this year, go watch him against Syracuse, go watch him against UCF. Guys make plays on him, and he's one of these, he's just bad body language type of guy. I don't know. I didn't watch that game. Great question, though. I think that's kind of been a staple with Deuce Spann. Those jet sweeps, they like Deuce Spann in those. So I think that's what you'll see. Brownlee, a starter and good athlete, has bad technique and special awareness, but he's a competitor. He is a competitor. I agree. Screw Brownlee. He's the one talking noise. Well, he said he got this game circled, so let's see what he do. POLK. Shout out to James Winston for the quote of the year. You pay. Leave it to Jameis, bro. Leave it to Jameis. I think Jameis is the funniest dude in sports, and in fact, and the crazy part is that I don't think he tries to be. I don't think he tries to be. I smell they going after y'all Miami fans. I want us to embarrass Brownlee. The way he exited the program was disrespectful. Man, you said it, not me. You said it, not me. But the way he exited, first of all, crying about NIL. And then, I'm with you. But you said it, not me. If one of our receivers has 7 receptions, 102 TDs versus Louisville, we win. I hope so. Yeah, you have to. Protect Jameis at all costs. Absolutely. Again, he's the funniest dude in sports. And he doesn't try to be. Sometimes, and again, I root for I'm not even really a Saints fan, but I will. First of all, I don't really have an NFL team, but I will watch the Saints every Sunday just because of Jameis Winston. So when I say this with affection. I think Jameis Winston is literally slow. Like, I think he might be legally retarded. We just don't know it. Like, he's book smart, obviously, and he got accepted in Stanford, but he came to Florida State. Like, we know all of those things, right? He's not a dummy. I just think he's a little slow, bro. I think Jameis is a little retarded. Can I even say that word? I think it's 2022 or 23. I probably can't even say that word. Might get me demonetized. I can't say the R word. My bad. If that offended anybody, I apologize. Can't say certain things in 2022, 23 anymore. Straight speed. Where my boy Kane Zay at? Was Mississippi State straight? Not Mississippi State. Was Southern Miss straight speed? I don't want y'all always find a way to bring Miami to the conversation. I wasn't gonna say nothing about them, boy. They got a big game this weekend. They got a big game and a winnable game. Y'all want to talk about Jimbo tonight? Like, do we really want to go down that route? Or do we want to keep talking about Louisville? Do we really want to go down that rabbit hole with Jimbo Fisher? Portier might get some burn. A dumb genius. He is a little slow. Exactly. He's slow, bro. My dog a little slow, but like you said, love the dude. Yeah, they're gonna cancel me. They're gonna cancel me because I said that. You're probably right, man. You're probably right. This is Adam Fuller game. They only have scored 3 offensive touchdowns. Listen, Brownlee got beat last week and almost cost him a majority of penalty with the taking. I'm with you. I watched the game. Quite frankly, that last play of the game that they gave Brownlee credit for a pick, we don't really need to get into whether or not that was a pick or not. What I focused on that play, the receiver should have caught the ball. The receiver had the ball. That should have been a touchdown. Moss in the back end zone. The receiver, soft. I'll use that word. That was a soft play by the wide receiver. That should have been 100% touchdown if the receiver would have had some guts and caught the football. I think we can make this a Duquesne game, part 2. You think we can run for 400 yards and have this game over by halftime? You think so? Jimbo, Jameis, Winston, Fisher. How do we match up versus? I think we talked about it a little bit. Again, I don't think there's a position on the field that you would take Louisville over us. I think wide receivers might be even. The more we watch these wide receivers, man, the more we like them, right? I mean, Johnny Wilson is we question like how good is Johnny Wilson? They said he drops a lot of footballs, and he dropped one against Duquesne. I don't think he dropped any against LSU, but he only had that. Well, he only had that one big catch against Duquesne. But he had another, like a quick slant or something that I remember that should have been a touchdown that he dropped. But Johnny was making some great catches where he had to adjust to the ball in the LSU game. I think Johnny's lived up to the hype. Looks to me like he can catch pretty damn good. We know Ontario Wilson. If there's one thing you say about Ontario, Pookie got hands. He loves them one-handed grabs. Micah Pittman, they love to use him as their gadget. They use him as a Deebo Samuel light. Now, I'm not calling him Deebo Samuels, but that's how they use him. A receiver that runs like a running back. And they use him in the quick pass game and the screen game to then do what he does after the catch. I mean, I like our receivers. I said this about our receivers when we brought them in out of the portal. I said, I don't know if these guys can play because a lot of times, some of these guys are in the portal for a reason. But what I know is they all complement each other. You didn't bring in a bunch of the same type of guys. You brought in a guy that's 6'7", 230. Big body, end zone target, tough catches over the middle type of guy. You brought in a guy, Micah Pittman. A little bit of a gadget guy, can put him in the backfield, screen plays, probably could pitch the ball to him. You guy who can do some things after the catch. You brought in a Deuce Spann, project guy who's further along in the project than I think any of us thought. Straight speed. I'm gonna use that phrase all year. Straight speed. That's what Deuce Spann is. They love to use him on these jet sweeps. They just want to get the ball in his hand and get him in open field. Who can blame him? He might be returning kicks this game, and that's going to be interesting to see. And then Winston Wright, who's probably the best overall receiver that you got, who also is a guy with straight speed. But he's probably the best overall receiver you got out of the portal. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and we haven't even seen him yet. I said when we brought him in, I don't know if any of these guys can play. I was pretty confident that Winston Wright could play because he actually had college production. But I said, I don't know if they can play, but they all bring something different and they all complement each other. I think our wide receivers might be better, but I think Louisville has a good crop of receivers too. But I would take every other position, man. I'll say the receivers are even. They get the nod at tight end because everybody gets the nod at tight end over Florida State until I see differently. Plus theirs is actually pretty good. Their tight end's pretty good. But other than that, our O-line's better than theirs, in my opinion. Our D-line's definitely better than theirs. Our backers are better. Our secondary's better. Our running backs are better. Our quarterback, I believe, is better. Now, Cunningham has the numbers over Jordan Travis. But I think Jordan Travis is better. I think he might show that this game. What up, Irv? Jimbo gonna speak Cuban Jesus. Oh, Jimbo, bring that ass here, boy. All I'm gonna say about Jimbo is the grass ain't greener. All I'm gonna say, I ain't gonna say nothing about Jimbo. You know what I'm gonna say? Shame on you, Texas A&M. You got rid of Kevin Sumlin. Check the records. Check the records between Jimbo and Kevin Sumlin. One's got a Heisman Trophy winner, a better record, never lost to a team like Appalachian State, and a win over Bama as well. Check the records. Shame on you, A&M, for getting rid of that guy. I'm kind of behind on the comments, so I'm going to just scroll over some of these, and I'll pick out some good ones if I see them. Was it LSU he dropped the TD against? Was it? You might be right. McClain needs to get touches. You know, it's one of those things where you got to remember, like, Malik McClain's a true sophomore. And he's getting beat out by guys that have just played more college football than him, with the exception of Deuce Spann. No, Deuce Spann, I think, what is Deuce Spann? Deuce Spann actually might be a redshirt sophomore. So Deuce Spann might have been in college 3 years as well. He's just getting beat out by guys who've been in college longer. Don't sleep on Darian. FSU is Portal U now. Let's go. Is that really a bad thing, though, January, man? That's like a serious question. Like, I used to say you couldn't build a program out the portal a couple years ago. But that was before the portal became what we see now. And what we see now is, because I couldn't have predicted this. I don't know if anybody predicted that you would see a Quentin Edwards hit the portal. Like a true freshman hit the portal. Texas has their quarterback for the next 4 years if he stays that long. You like, that's wild to me. Like, you could have never predicted that you would get a Quentin Edwards in the portal, a Caleb Williams in the portal. When's the last time a Biletnikoff winner, the best receiver in the country, hits the portal? USC just built their whole team. Their starting running back, their starting quarterback, and maybe their best receiver on the roster all came from different teams this year. USC just built the team out the portal, and if they're not going to make the playoff, they're going to be in the hunt to the end, because the Pac-12 is no good, and USC is going to score more points than everybody in that conference. They're probably going to make the playoff. So don't tell me you can't build a team out the portal, because USC is showing you can. I think you might be able to build. What you're seeing now has changed the game, because before it was one and done. So no, you can't build a team off one and as great as Jermaine was and is, you can't build a team off of Jermaine Johnson's or Keir Thomas's, because they're gone the next year. But if you're going to sign a bunch of guys with 3 or 4, or 2-3 years of eligibility, you can build a team off of Jarrett Versus. Everybody Florida State brought in, with the exception of the O-line guys, has 2 to 3 years. And I think they brought in those O-line guys on purpose, because they recruited the position to where they don't need a bunch of guys on that O-line to stay 3 or 4 years. They just need guys to let some of these guys develop. And then you're going to see next year the guys we want to see. Plus, the portal's always still open there. But Tatum Bethune, redshirt junior, he's got this year and next year if he stays. All the wide receivers have multiple years of eligibility. Verse has 3 years. Now, Verse is playing at a point where if Verse continues this production, then Verse is out of here. I think Verse is one and done. Again, because I think that's a guy that'll kill the combine, and he'll have the numbers in college to back it up. Verse will probably make a lot of money if he decides to go, if he continues this level of play. But I don't know, January, man. I think maybe you can build a team out of the portal. You know, when maybe a few years ago I didn't believe you could. Let me catch back up in the comment. How do I think again the running backs will do? Again, I think we match up well. I think we have the edge at almost every position. I don't even think that's the homer in me talking. I just think it's legit. If there's one thing I know about Atkins, he's going to run the ball. They're going to establish the line of scrimmage. I expect them to establish the line of scrimmage. Tyler says, amazing how quick the fan base turns on a coach. Them recruiting classes don't mean S when you can't win. Who are we turning on? Tyler? Are you talking about maybe you're talking about somebody else? What's going on, Keyshawn? He can't see the field. No knock on Keyshawn, but who would you take off the field and put Keyshawn in for? It's not a knock on him. Let's just be honest. They've just upped the talent level in the room. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying about the portal. Again, the game has changed. I pose a question since we're back on the wide receivers. And if I just pose a question. Let's say FSU hits on Kevin Coleman last year and Devon Mortimer and throw another receiver in there. Are any of those receivers, those true guys, those 4-star guys at a high school, are any of them going to be more productive or as productive as the guys that you just got out of the portal who don't need the years of development, who don't need the college weight room because they've been in one for 2-3 years, some of them? Do those guys come in against LSU and play like that? I don't think they do. See, the beautiful thing about the portal is you're getting kids, and it don't even like people say, well, he didn't produce at said school, so how do we even know he's any good? Well, we don't know. But you don't know if a high school kid's going to be anything either. The beautiful thing about the portal is these kids don't have to wait, get bigger, faster, stronger. They're coming in bigger, faster, stronger. They're coming in adjusted to the college game. Now it's just about putting together, and let's not act like Johnny Wilson ain't talented. The man was, I believe, a top 100 player coming out of high school. Let's not act like Micah Pittman ain't talented. Top 100 player coming out of high school. Like, we act like just because they're in the portal that their previous recruiting rankings don't matter, and then we pretend like all that matters is the current group of kids. Y'all know how much I love Marvin Jones Jr., right? And how much I wanted him to be a Nole. Is Marvin Jones Jr. right now having the same impact as Jarrett Verse? I don't even think he's cracking the rotation at Georgia. Now, granted, that's Georgia and they've recruited. He probably would have cracked our rotation, but would he be as effective, as dominant as Jarrett Verse was against LSU? I don't think he would have been. So does it matter? Who do you want? You want Marvin Jones Jr., you want Jarrett Verse? Both going to play probably 3 years of college football. So you're going to have them both about the same time. I don't think Verse goes pro after this year, but again, if he continues the way he plays, Verse might be a one and done. Okay, fair. That's the only argument you have. But Verse has 3 years of eligibility. Who would you rather have? Because I think most of us would say we take Jarrett Verse. And I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, but that was a conversation that we kind of had on Twitter about, is the portal a good or bad thing, or can you build a program out of it? I don't know, man. I think you can. No way, man. I agree. Well, he might stay committed, but he ain't gonna see the field. There's no way he sees the field. I'll tell you that right now. Arch Manning ain't seeing the field as long as that boy with the mullet and the beard, that whatever kind of beard that, as long as that boy playing football, he don't even look like a quarterback. But as long as he throwing the rock out there, Archman ain't seen the field. This is the thing with McClain. Our wide receiver room was so bad, we depended on true freshmen to be our bell cow. He's still young, still developing. I agree with you. If Jarrett Verse keeps playing the way he's playing, he might be. I agree. Yeah, yep, absolutely. That's true too. If Bethune. But the point is that I'm making, y'all, is that these guys have the opportunities to stay. I mean, we got Jamie Robinson. He was a redshirt sophomore. Jamie Robinson still has more eligibility in college ball. Do y'all realize that? He's not even a senior. He's a junior. Jamie could play a whole nother year. Now, Jamie's going pro after this year. I guarantee it, because he flirted with the pros last year. But they're bringing in guys with multiple years of eligibility. That's interesting. I think Arch wants to play for Sark. I think that's the one thing that keeps him at Texas. Wouldn't you, Tyler? Y'all paid the man gazillions of dollars. See, what happened with A&M fans and college football in general is they got fooled. They got fooled by this. This made, I don't care what anybody says, this made Jimbo Fisher. And the guy that wore number 5 made him too. Because we've kind of had this discussion on this channel multiple times. Look at Jimbo before and after Jameis and tell me he's any different than what you're seeing at A&M right now. Same coach. Great elite level recruiter. Always has been. Leaves a lot to be desired. App State, that's not a surprise. Did you not watch Florida State in 2012 and watch them lose to NC State when they was up 17-0 at one point? It's not a surprise. What about the previous years of losing to teams like Wake Forest? Jimbo's always done it. What about after Jameis losing to the North Carolina, where North Carolina just continuously goes up and down the field on you guys? What about the Georgia Tech game that you should have won on the block kick? Jimbo's always done App State. App State's not new. It's always been there. Every season for Jimbo Fisher. People just forgot about it because 2013 was that dominant. Jakai's been hurt. And y'all know I'm a little bit behind on the comments, so we'll catch up here. Briley says you mailed it. I think you nailed it with the experience. Portal guys know how to work, study, lift, eat, work at college level. All about learning curve. Bingo. Where's Mortimer now? And Coleman is a backup at JSU, and Camden Brown, who ain't seen. That's my point. That's you. Bingo. I mean, Davis, you hit it. That's my point. Yeah, it would have looked good for recruiting if you bring in all those guys. But none of those guys are doing what Johnny Wilson and Deuce Spann and Micah Pittman are going to do for you right now. The young man sold his soul to Georgia and ain't seeing the field. Now, I don't think he would be Jarrett Verse, but he would be on the field for us. You definitely would want both. I'm liking this Norvell-Atkins combo with the scheme up of our offense. FSU fans knock on Dillingham, but Atkins knows our O-line capabilities when scheming our offense against other teams' defenses. Our O-line and DN are UFL's most experienced and talented positions. Yeah, but have y'all played like it, though? Especially that O-line hasn't played like it. Defensive line at Georgia is stacked. Again, that's why he's not seeing the field. Well, again, I said that much. But they beat Oregon 40 something to whatever it was. You don't think you could have put your young boy out there to get a few snaps in? They just blew another team out this past weekend. You don't think Marvin Jones Jr. could have got some snaps in against a nobody? No. Tyrone Oliver, remember the tribe says Dillingham was problem one with the offense. Oregon lost to Georgia. Prove that our offense has more plays to work with now. Another question: has Jimbo always been overrated and the talent on the team carried him? I just said this made him, bro. I don't know what else I gotta say. Again, elite recruiter, but this made him. How big of an impact would replacing Fitz with Roberto have on this team? Oh man. Yes, sir. All Jimbo got to do is give up the OC spot and update his offense scheme, and he will be fine. People act like players don't make the coach better at doing his job. This is why when we're losing, I said Norvell has to have the right. Well, he has the right players now, sir. Would you agree with that? Hope so. Polk, I've been saying that for the longest. FSU made Jimbo. That defensive 23 was also made Jimbo. I don't think A&M drops 2 games. I would agree with you. I think everything's pointing. So this crazy thing about this, if we want to talk a little bit about Miami and Texas A&M, and I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna hate or troll just because John's in here. And maybe some other Miami fans might be lurking, but they ain't introduced themselves. First of all, before App State even happened, I thought Miami had a good chance of winning this game because they have the better quarterback situation, period. But losing that game is interesting. I don't believe they're going to lose back-to-back home games. But I also think Miami, everything points in the right direction for them. They still have the quarterback edge regardless. It's going to be interesting to see the adjustment Jimbo makes for this team. Miami doesn't exactly push the pace on offense either. This isn't Rhett Lashley's offense anymore. So they kind of play into each other's hands. This is where you're really going to see what this coaching staff is with Miami. I haven't been impressed with Miami the first 2 games. Against Bethune, you know, you can say, well, we were running vanilla, but you still gave up damn near 400 yards to Bethune-Cookman. Running a vanilla scheme or not, that's ridiculous. That tells me that you have to scheme up some stuff because your ones can't beat your ones. I'm strictly talking in the trenches here. Your ones wasn't good enough to disrupt their offense. Ones versus ones, meaning your D line, your front 4 in that D line or whatever I think they play a front 4. Couldn't get the job done against Bethune. So your back end struggle. Kind of the same thing at Southern Miss. Too many big plays for me to believe that the defense really has it together. If that A&M offense that looked like it looked against App State has its way with Miami's offense defense, that's going to be telling. So I think this is the game that Miami can show because ain't no vanilla schemes this time. And Miami can't even say they was running vanilla against Southern Miss because they drew up a flea flicker or they drew up a trick play. They drew up a trick play in that game. So they opened the playbook up because they kind of had to. Van Dyke did not play well in that game. So there's some questions for Miami. I kind of always thought that. If you remember, Miami fans and Florida State fans, I told you from the jump, this is going to be very interesting to see Van Dyke without Rhett. Was Rhett Lashley making that offense pump, or was it Van Dyke? In 2 games, that Heisman conversation is completely dead against subpar opponent. We'll see what he does against A&M. That's my take on that game. I think we're overestimating him. That's fair. Score predictions for this Friday. I think I hope I'm wrong. A lot of guys are picking a kind of a wide margin. I'm thinking like legitimately like 31-34 Florida State. I think hope I'm wrong. I think Louisville's going to come out firing. T Hunter. Well, wish T Hunter the best, but don't mean to be insensitive here, but I don't care. He's at Jackson State. We always knew he was small. Yeah, tell him no squad. We don't talk about no Travis Hunter. No, but I mean, it was Travis Hunter, speedy recovery. I think he's gonna fall apart anyway, unless these kids really want whatever NIL they're selling up there. I didn't know Papa John's had NIL money up there like that. Remember, you had your boy giving money out in McDonald's bag, Jeremy Pruitt. Y'all boys in Louisville, y'all giving out money in pizza boxes up there. I don't know, man. I'm here, bro. Just about every Wednesday, man. Every Wednesday. I don't usually say this, and I probably should, but if you don't know, hit the little notification bell, man, whenever you guys want to know when I'm coming on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but better safe than sorry. Just so when you subscribe, man, hit the notification bell so you know when we doing our thing. I agree. We already got some good O-line recruits. Yeah, I heard that too. Hey, man, like you said yourself, you've never had a top 25 class. Now all of a sudden it's looking a little suspect. I mean, even you just admitted that. I don't know if it's hating over just people pointing out the truth, Enzo. Van Dyke looks a lot less talented. Don't he, though? Man, what do I know, bro? Again, light-skinned dude on YouTube, bro. Half the time I don't know what I'm talking about, but somehow my takes always seem to be on point. I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. Is that true, Enzo? What's his name? I'm not sure you're talking about. What's his name? Don't forget UM's defense led NCAA in missed tackles, but they're going to step up because Kevin Steele is there. Miami fans, I'm going to tell you, man. I hope y'all win. I'm not saying I'm rooting for you because I'm not, but y'all probably don't want to come around here if y'all lose to a team that just lost to Appalachian State. I'm just saying. You already see the jokes are firing up. I tried to tell Miami fans this Gaddis and Mario like run first, low chances of mistakes offense. App State is one of those G5 schools. I agree with you. To be honest with you, Tyler, if I was a Power 5 school, I would stop scheduling these guys. How many times does App State have to upset people for you to realize that this team could probably make a real, like they're playing in the Sun Belt. Throw them in the AAC and they would be competitive. Especially in a couple of years, they probably win the conference, bro. If I'm a Power 5 school, I do not. Florida State better not schedule. Do not ever, Mike. Don't schedule App State. We good. Keep scheduling Jacksonville State. Hell, schedule Jackson State. I would love to take I think that would be a marquee primetime game, Jackson State versus Florida State. If you could schedule that, but don't schedule App State, bro. Don't schedule App State. The team that wins the trenches will win the game. Well, then I like our chances, Todd. FSU also needs this game for Hakeem. Some people are saying Hakeem's a lock already, Marcus. I don't think he's a lock. Losing this game definitely don't hurt. I mean, winning this game definitely doesn't hurt. Losing this game, I'm not sure how much it hurts. Kevin Steele has been done. I told them that when they hired him. There's a reason why he was available. Kevin Steele's been a bum. Anyway, I don't want to make this too much about all of that. Tell him again, VJ. Hit. No, you didn't say hit. Smash it. Smash the like button. They're all in North Carolina. All those teams are in North Carolina. Have they said what uniforms? Oh, they wearing the ices, the all white head to toe, red white helmet, top bottom. They are finally putting out the white helmets. I'm excited to see it. I am a traditionalist. Don't get me wrong. I've always kind of been on the side of that you don't touch the fort. It's, to me, the best helmet in the game. And obviously, I'm biased. But that's the best looking helmet in football. That spear, it's just nothing compares. If we strictly talking helmets, I think this helmet, I don't know why Notre Dame's helmet is so damn overrated. It's literally just take the spear off this, and that's Notre Dame helmet. Just a gold helmet. The helmets when I think college football, honestly, man, the helmets that I've always thought about, the U, not gonna lie, our helmet, and the Michigan helmet. I'm not saying the Michigan helmet's kind of ugly to me, but it's, you know it when you see it. Like, you know that Michigan helmet when you see it. So those have kind of always been the top 3 helmets in my opinion. Bro, we got to land that. I just believe it when I see it, though. I believe we get a 5-star wide receiver when I see it. Yeah, I play Jacksonville State game. Ain't nobody scared of no Jacksonville State. Great question. Don't know yet, but we gonna be sipping on something, Todd. I feel like our offense has got it. If we lose the game, it's because our defense. Well, he commits the 23rd of this month. You see Marshall made that, man. Marcus Freeman, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't think Freeman gonna last too long. It's one thing to lose to Ohio State. Sorry, it's one thing to lose to Ohio State. Like, it's Ohio State. You can't lose to Marshall, man. You can't lose to Marshall. I don't care. I know they shout out to Kalen LeBourne for having a big game. I think don't they have another Florida State player up there at Marshall? I can't remember, but I feel like they got another one. I just don't remember who. And I could be wrong. Maybe they only have Kalen LeBourne. I feel like there's another one up there. Point being, you can't lose that game. You can't lose that game. Brian Robinson. Yeah. Brian Robinson up there. That's what I'm saying. So they got a couple Florida State players up there, man. They got a couple Florida State players up there. I think so too, Irv. I think we're gonna win a close game. I don't think these 35-10, 35-17 scores. If that happens, I will be gladly eat crow on it and be like, okay, you went out there and you dominated a team that some people thought you really should have dominated. So I'm with you there. I just think we're still in that close game mode where we're still figuring some things out, and it's okay. These guys are still learning to win, but I do think we get to win, and I think it'll be a close one. Yeah. If we win Friday, there's a great chance we go into NC State undefeated because Boston College is absolutely terrible. So we're going 4-0. And then we got Wake. Wake's going to be tough because their quarterback's back and they do have a great offense. It's going to be interesting. I don't think their defense is up. That could be a shootout of a game. But we get Wake at home this year. And I think Florida State, I think Tallahassee, I think Doak Campbell Stadium will be packed for that one. Bro, that's why I said you can build programs off. That was the conversation we had earlier, Timmy. It's not just the Florida State thing. Other programs are using the portal to their advantage. The portal's changing college football. Green McKnight went up there to Marshall too? Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I knew they had another Florida State player up there. I didn't know Jadarius went up there too. Can't be a Louisville conversation if they don't bring Kentucky into the mix. Hold on, guys. Former FSU QB coaches at Marshall. Um, can we make sure Hakeem and Blake Fresh new FSU has on our table announcement? Bro, it's Freeman's first season. He still have time. Timmy, do you think that, like, man, Timmy, we keep having these conversations, bro, but you think that Notre Dame has a history of this? You keep saying, oh, it's his first season. Okay. Okay. Do I think they're going to fire him year one? No. But okay. You keep thinking that. Keep thinking that these coaches get, and you go to a school at Notre Dame and you get 4 or 5 years. You don't get 4 or 5 years. I'm telling you. Let him go. Let him. What is he right now? 0-2. He lost the bowl game as well, which I don't put the bowl game on him because Brian Kelly leaves at the last minute. Let him go 0-3. Oh my God. Hold on, guy. I do think FSU fans and the media need to slow down with the whole FSU's back thing. Well, Jared Verse started that. So I'm not saying we're back, but Verse said we're back. So if the players are saying it, people gonna ride with it. Are we climbing yet? Are we climbing? I don't know. I think we're climbing a little bit. Now I don't know how high we are. I don't know how high we are, but we're climbing a little bit. We're climbing a little bit. I mean, Bama's starting middle linebacker is out of the portal. Their starting running back is out of the portal. One of their receivers is out of the portal. Like, yeah. Yes, sir. FSU will be Jen Ferrari with the $10 donation says FSU will be 3-0. Man, you hear this kid in the background, yo. Shout out to you, Jen, for the $10. And let's go with who I want to go with. Who I want to go with. Who I want to go with. Who I want to go with.
Yeah, more money, yeah, more money, yeah.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right. Someone come get these kids. Read a few more comments here, and then we will call it a night. Yeah, because we're going about an hour and 30. So good little show. Um, he says, Timmy, you have way too much faith in people. I need you to speak for me if I go to prison. Let's not do this tonight, Timmy. He says, I love your optimism, Timmy. Timmy says, I'm not saying he's going there 3 or 4 years. I'm just saying, let's see what he will do for the rest of the season. I mean, I hear you. And I like people are saying, we love your optimism. It's college football. Notre Dame has a history of this. Losing to Marshall, it's tough. Oh, we climbing. I don't know who App State plays. I think Winston Wright comes back next year just for the fact that he's starting off this year injured. He can't lose. He can't lose to Miami. Now, the thing about Jimbo, see, what saves Jimbo is his buyout is absolutely insane. I believe he has a $95 million buyout clause, meaning if unless they fire him for cause, and for cause is like he does something wrong, like gets caught in some type of scandal, like if they have to pay this man like $95 million to fire him. It's absolutely, he has like the best contract in the country by far, bar none. That's the only thing saving him. Now the question is, will the A&M, even the A&M boosters who have all this money, I don't think they can buy the $95 million bullet. But I agree in the sense of if he loses to Miami, and after being number 6 preseason, you start the season off 1-2 with losses to App State and Miami. Good luck for you the rest of your time there. Not really. Anytime Timmy wants to come on, he can feel free to come on. Not tonight, though. 28-20. I don't think so. I've been hearing College Game Day might be if both teams went out. We should be ranked. We would be ranked, but if we win there's a chance that if we win Friday, we're ranked. I definitely think you win Friday. You probably beat in BC. Yeah, you probably ranked for that Wake Forest game. Isn't Wake already ranked? I could be wrong. I think they are. What other games are here's the thing, Panama, that I would ask. What other games are on that week? Are there any other like high-ranking teams played? Because Wake Forest and FSU doesn't sound like a college game day game. College game day game to me. But if we're both ranked and there's not really another big game in that week, it could be. Oh, to be ranked. Why is Clemson still in the top 25 and NC State too? Well, they started off high and they haven't lost, and preseason rankings are a joke. So, bro, I don't care if just line it up. Like I don't care if DJ starts or the freshman starts. I don't care. Good luck trying to convince me that the freshman's going to come into Doak Campbell and win that game. We're 80,000 strong. We'll be in attendance. Like, good luck. If he can do it, then they found the next great Clemson quarterback. Not too sure they have that. If he was that, DJ would probably already be on the bench because we know what DJ is. DJ is what he's been for the last year and now going into this year. We know what DJ is. If he was that, he probably is already the starter. Good luck. And like Tyler just said, behind that O-line, by all means, please put a freshman back there. By all means. I don't care if DJ's playing or not. I think I like us a lot in that game. I'm not saying by a lot. I'm saying I'm very confident in that game. I got a point. I got a point. Thank you. But I'm very confident in that game regardless of who's the quarterback. Losing Miami doesn't get them fired as long as they beat those teams in the SEC. That's not Bama. I mean, losing to Miami is not going to get him fired, like, regardless, because he has an insane buyout clause. I'm just saying it gets very uncomfortable for him there. You lose that at Miami team. So I still think Miami's figuring things out. So if things don't go as expected, FSU win. Polk don't pass out like you did at the end of the. Well, no, I passed out because it was Jacksonville State. You expecting a close game, Enzo? If A&M loses Miami, are the Halloween decorations outside? Yeah. Is the Thanksgiving turkey already on the curb at Jimbo's house if he loses to Miami? That is the $1 million question. I already called my prediction. I said 34-31 Florida State. I think we're going to be in a game. And I think this is the game that Louisville shows some life offensively, which I hate to say that, but I would love for Adam Fuller. And it's not even so much about Fuller. Yes, it is. But it's also, I just think Louisville's due for that. They got too much talent on offense to act like these guys can't score points. Like, I don't really know what's going on. Okay, cool guy, Don. I see you. But I don't know what's really going on. I think they're going to score some points this game, though. So for me, 34-31 Florida State. Actually, I have. I when I'm driving, I see a lot of cars with Florida State stuff on it, believe it or not. So we out here, man. We out here in Central Texas. Yeah, they do. A&M looks legit bad. I agree with that. Like on both sides of the ball. Like they look legit bad. But cool guy Don, got to be a Louisville fan. What is that logo you got? Yeah, Louisville Cardinals. Shout out to cool guy Don. He's got 35, 24, Louisville. 31, 20. If the shoe, those A&M boosters with that cheese, you get rid of someone. Yeah, 95 mil though. I don't know. You said it's easy to say that when it's not your money. 95 mil, I don't know about that. 31-17. So some of y'all got some big scores, man. Some of y'all got some big scores, but I'm with you. Hey, I hear you. VJ says 34-24. I do live in this clean the sticks. But there are some FSU fans out here. Like I said, I see plenty of cars with FSU stuff on. You also got to remember, I live in a military post. I don't live on post, but I live, so people are from everywhere. So a lot of those Florida State fans ain't really from Texas. Yeah, man, they playing some freshman guys, but I don't care. They on the field. You get that work. But McClendon, that's okay. Just play contain, bro. Let Verse be a monster, and you just do your job. It's okay. 31-17 Noles. If we go 4-0 this season after starting 0-4 last season, I'm gonna be excited as hell because I felt like I was the only one believing in Norvell and his vision. And shout out to you, Timmy, for at least being optimistic in Norvell, and maybe your optimism will pay off for Mike. Maybe not for Jarian. It still remains to be seen about Freeman, but your optimism for Mike Norvell may have finally amounted to something. Jimbo's offense is stuck in the 90s. 17-0 Florida State. I feel like us scoring 17 points would be a bit of a disappointment, but I would be ecstatic if we gave up a goose egg. 14-point win would be huge. I agree. If you get a 14-point win, I am like, okay, you figured something out. So I'm with you. Will do. They win big. What is big though? Before we do that though, Todd, let's define what big is. 14 points big, 21 points. What is big first? But I don't have a problem with that bet. Cunningham got hit a lot. He did. Two. Over or under 1.5 sacks for Verse? That's the question I'll pose to you guys. 1.5, over or under? if we are only undefeated Florida team come Sunday, I'm going to annoy the hell out of him on all platforms. I said before the season, Louisville will be ACC. You did say that, champ. I remember. I absolutely remember. We have no consistent passing game, but we always get hype for FSU. Score 2017 Cards. Shout out to Enzo, 2017 Cardinals. And like he said what I said, though. Of course, you see what as a Louisville fan, he's telling y'all they get hype for this Florida State game. So they gonna come out to play. They're gonna come out to play. Loden says I like the team, but he just does not believe in Mike yet. So what's your prediction, Loden? Let's get a prediction. Everybody else is giving it. I predict an interception from the defense. Duke Cooper. Tyler says 14 points is that big? Todd's got to answer that question because he's the one that want me to take. Oh, he said 30 points. I'll take that bet all day. 30 points, easy bet. If we beat Louisville by 30 points, I will take 3 shots. Thank you, Todd. Easy. It's easy. 3+ wide receiver screen for Memphis Mike. What up, Mike? He says, what up? POLK, let's go, fam. I got us 31-24. I like that score. 34-17. He says over 1.5. That boy good. I'm going to go under. I kind of am on Tyler's side. I mean, I want you to think about that. We're talking about this man going 1 sack. I think they only I could have sworn he had 3 against LSU, but they only gave him 2. So in 3 games, if we're saying in 3 games, this man gonna have 5 sacks, meaning he's almost halfway to what Jermaine had in 3 games. I think he goes under. I think he gets 1. But I agree with Tyler. Cunningham's they're gonna know where he is. I think they're going to keep Cunningham away from him at all costs. And plus, Cunningham's a hell of a runner, and he's going to be tough to bring down. He might have some plays where he gets his hands on Cunningham, and Cunningham just gets out of there. So I'm going to say under. Honda goes over. Timmy's got a 10-point game, 31-21. Bradley says just got to get the DNs to rush no deeper than the top of the QB's drop. And with you there, through their man and go to outside shoulder instead of trying to sneak inside and allowing Malik to escape the outside. Make Malik escape up the middle, limit yards, and his ability to attack around the field. Man, easier said than done, probably. But maybe you should be coaching the defense instead of Alan Fuller. FSU knocks Cunningham out the game. Loden's got 31-17 who? Because you said you don't believe in Mike. 31-17 Louisville? Ouch. Brother Brooklyn says, Brother POLK, what it do? We need to contain Malik. We will win by 21. If not, it could get ugly. Keep him under 50 yards rushing. That might be tough. The 50-yard rushing might be tough. I agree with you. You got to contain him. That 21-point win, would love to see it. Don't know. Legit. Or let's get it. Sorry. Let's get it. Says 34-17 FSU. The House of Fallen Cards. D. Thompson. Congratulations on your retirement, by the way. He says 38-21 Florida State. Yeah, 30 points and 3 shots. I'll take that bet all day. Stop hating on Verse. Now I'm hating on Verse. Good God. You seen Deuce on the depth chart? Yeah, I said that earlier. He might see Deuce get some kicks. 40 points. If they beat Louisville by 40 points, absolutely, Todd. I will send you a hat. Promise. But versus the type of athlete with those snaps that he's getting, he's been averaging at least 2 sacks a game against this offensive line. I think he gets – okay, I hear you. And Tyler's saying Verse ain't a secret no more. So they're going to – after LSU, you're going to see teams scheme for this guy, chip him with the tight ends. I would advise to not chip him with running backs because we've seen how that ends. Verse flat out ran over offensive tackle. So it's going to be a tough matchup. But Louisville likes their O-line. They have a veteran group. They think their O-line is one of the better units on their team. We'll see what they do. Deloach that spy. I want Lane. Stop the mesh. FSU wins big. We don't got Milton playing, so that's a dub. Jordan will have, I don't know what that is, but he says Jordan will have something. Loading, just because you want another head coach doesn't mean you got to put Norvell down. When you think McCall going to break loose? Well, if he's playing, I think Deuce is going to get some shots at it. I think Deuce, McCall will be, I say this all the time. Sam will be all right. Sam just got to adjust. He'll be all right. Boxer message, you can send him my hat if FSU wins by 40. You still ain't even sent me your information, bro. With my health, I can't drink. Travis will have a long pass game plan gunning all night. And if FSU wins by 40 on the road, I'll send over some Kentucky bourbon. I don't think, by the way, I don't think that happens, but I would love to have some. Ward and Benson going off. O-line on top, I think we hold to only a sack. McCall ain't going to break one. Unfortunately, doesn't have that killer instinct, explosive on kick return. This is Deuce going to break loose this game, though. I'm going 35-24. Who, Miguel? Florida State or Louisville? And when do you think AZ going to start? I don't know, man. Ronaldo's holding his own, so AZ might not need to start. So, but we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Great show. Hannah says it's going to be a great game, but I think we get the win. Again, I think we got the win too, guys. But as always, guys, I appreciate everybody for coming in, showing out. We did 1 hour and 40. Hit the like button on the way out if you didn't hit the like button on the way in. Of course, Friday night, I'm back here Friday night after the game. So y'all already know, win, lose, or draw. Y'all know where to show up after the game. Instant reaction. Hopefully we happy. But regardless, we're going to be here. Cup's going to be filled with something. We're going to talk about what we saw. But like I was saying, hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to the channel if, for whatever reason, you're not subscribed. And don't forget, man, share these videos. Even people that watch it back, man, share the videos. This is what we do over here. Like I said, the most interactive show in the Florida State fan base, in my opinion, and the realest show. It's not a knock on anybody. It just is what it is. I keep it 100, or at least I feel like I do. Even though I guess I'm hating on Verse now and Adam Fuller and all these guys. But I know it's all love. Have a good rest of you guys' night. Again, if you guys are up late for whatever reason, made for the Ville, I'll be over there tonight for a little bit. I don't know how long. I don't want to stay up too late because I got to get up early. But I'll be over there. Come check us out. And that's all I got tonight, guys. It's your boy POLK over here on 863 Seminole TV. Stay classy, Seminoles. And we got you. Go Noles.